I got VSG on June 1st, 2021. I guess I'll see y'all later. Hi. And lost a total from surgery date, 90 pounds. I've lost well over 100 pounds since my highest weight ever, and things were going good. After my 90-pound weight loss, I actually maintained a weight loss of a 10-pound range for 2 years before falling in love and eating really well. I recently posted a video about my post-surgery 40-pound weight gain, which is actually now 30. I had briefly mentioned in there how I did a pouch reset in December and how I had always told myself if my weight ever crept up again, I would just do the surgery again without actually getting the surgery done. When I got VSG and I was sitting healing in the hospital, I was like, what did I do? My first instant regret was I could have just did the diet. Clicked in my head, the only thing they're doing is limiting your stomach size. I was like, I feel like I would have had enough self-control for it. So I promised myself, if my weight ever crept up again, I would do this. And so here we are doing it. And the reason we are doing it together is because after I had just mentioned it, people were like, oh my gosh, I'd love if you made this a group thing. I wish we could do this together, which is something I didn't even think about or do because I would have done that with the pouch reset in December. Nonetheless, we are here. I'm really excited to prepare ourselves for our VSG reset together. Whether you've had the surgery or not, you are more than welcome to join. I have been telling people who want to get surgery and who've reached out to me, hey, try this first, exactly what we're going to be doing, because you may not actually need to go through with a life-changing, altering your body forever kind of surgery. You may just need the practice of it. We're going to get into all the details about what this is going to entail in this video today, but I do want to preface this by saying a lot of the reasoning you do the pre-post-op diet is because your body physically needs to be well for surgery. Although we are not actually going to be getting surgery again nor going under the knife, I am going to, for the results, go through the same process. From a weight loss level, that restrictive period is where you drop the most amount of weight. Your first 3 months is when you drop the most amount of weight. It even says that in the paperwork. I'm going to just follow it exactly how I did it the first time. We are going to be following my doctor's plan from Long-Term Weight Loss Solution in Tijuana, Mexico. That is where I got surgery. All the PDFs will be available down below for you to look through, for you to see. We are going to be following the plan as I had done it the first time under the guidance of my doctor. And I'm saying this because so many doctors do this differently. They have you do liquid diets before surgery. We got taken to eat tacos the night before surgery. So there's just so many different ways to do this, and they're all valid. There's just different procedures for each doctor. So we will be following my doctor's plan, but I want to stress this, and I mean this very seriously. Do not join our group if you do not go to the doctor and get clearance. I do not want anyone participating in the group chat that has not gone to get a clearance from their doctor stating specifically what they are doing. You should not be doing this alone. You should get a green light and have someone that you can go to and follow you through this. Be very specific of what's happening. Talk it through with your doctor. They will tell you if it's a good thing for you to do or not. Give you warnings. It's going to be very helpful. Now, because we are doing this the right way, and we are going to make sure you have time to go to the doctor and get in where you can get in, we are going to be starting this March 1st. Pre-op starts March 1st in the group. This gives you a month and a half from the time I'm making this video to get a doctor's appointment in the books. Be very specific about what you're doing. And now that I'm thinking about it, that's the time. I decided I was going to get surgery the last week of March, and I got surgery June 1st. So that was about 2 months. So a month and a half, a little bit similar to what I went through. We are doing this the right way. Please do not participate. I will not allow you to participate unless you have gotten clearance to do this. Make sure you are doing this the safe, healthy, and proper way for your body. Do not harm yourself in the making of wanting to go on this. Another reason this is really good too is when I made my VSG videos, people were like, this is too expensive, I can't afford it, which is part of the reason I went to Mexico to do it. At the time, I think I paid $4,000. It was affordable for me at the time. So it made sense compared to $20,000 it could be in the US. I think that's what I was quoted at UCLA. So I was like, other options, and my friend had recommended this. So I want to also be very clear, this is an experiment you're going to be choosing to do with me because I don't know this for fact, but I promise you, I have this pit in my stomach that I've had since the day of surgery. I could have just done the diet. And it just got worse as I was losing weight and realizing like, I could have just done the diet. I didn't need to go under the knife. I would also like to say God is so intentional. If you missed in my 40-pound weight gain video, I had mentioned how I really want to ride a roller coaster this year and how plans are coming together. I kid you not, when I got home from prayer this morning, I went back to sleep. I had a dream that Dre and I went to Tokyo Disney and we were riding a ride. And I had already planned this video for today. I was like, it's all coming together. Okay, so here is going to be the timeline so you can prepare. The key key to this is preparation. I had a follower say something in my 40-pound weight gain video that was so good. They said weight loss is not about motivation. It takes I was just hit in the soul when it was, they actually don't have a name. It was like IW9289. When they said this, I was hit in my soul because that's something I've been learning in my spiritual practices the last 2 years is how important discipline is and for your daily life, for spiritual, mental, and I just never thought about the physical part of it too, how discipline really is over anything else. So I really enjoyed that. I really wanted to shout you out and thank you for that comment because you're right. It does take discipline. I don't care if you don't feel like it, you do it anyway. And that's the process. So I'm really excited to take that mentality into this VSG portion again. So guys, here's our timeline. Again, we're going to have a group chat for this. So March 1st will be our pre-op diet. So this is when we are going to be doing the liver shrinking portion. The reason you do liver shrinking before a surgery is it makes it safer to do the surgery and reduces the size of your liver so they can get where they need to get without harming yourself. Although we are not going under the knife, this is a very crucial part because this is where we start to transition to the intense diet that happens post-op. So this is why we are not jumping straight into surgery day, quote unquote. Think of this as the transition period for us to tell our body like, hey, some things are gonna start changing soon. So we're gonna start tightening up our diet a little bit here. I mean, honestly, you can start tightening up the diet now while you're waiting on your doctor's appointment and stuff like that. But the longer you give yourself to like ease into this, we don't want such a drastic change. So this is a better approach. This is where what my surgeon told me and what is written is different. So you can choose what you want to do. All the PDFs I got in preparation for my surgery will be down below. I will be following not this pre-op diet though, because they verbally told me something different. So when I was in communication about what's going on, the pre-op diet I was given was 2 protein shakes a day and 1 meal. So that is what I'll be following. It's in the guidelines. It's just not the exact thing written in the paper. So take your pick. You can do what I'm doing. You can do what the paper says. Just pick one and stick to it for 2 weeks. Don't switch up halfway through. Just pray about it. Think about it for the next month and a half and you have a decision by the 1st. I also want to emphasize again that every doctor's different. When people have VSG, a lot of doctors will have you do like a clear liquid diet 2 days before surgery. I already mentioned this too. Our facility took us to get tacos the night before. We did not have to be on a liquid diet. We just had to stop eating by midnight. I'm gonna stick to my 2 protein shakes and a meal and ease myself into this because I just don't want to be too hard on my body. And we're already gonna have a really long phase of liquids and clear liquids. So I don't want to do more. I don't want to overcorrect or overexert myself when it's really not necessary. This is really not about perfection. It's not about going above and beyond. Like the follower said, this is about discipline. This is our number one goal, is just to be disciplined and consistent through this process. So please do not take on more than you can chew. And we're doing this together. So the people who decide to follow the paperwork exactly, we're all gonna be in one group chat too. So whatever way you decide to do it, you'll have people who are choosing the way you're choosing to do it too. So don't fret, don't worry. It's all a community effort. We're here for each other. So it's really not the end of the world, no matter which way you go. But I do need you to mark your calendars for March 1st, because this is when all of this is popping off. And I really want you to be prepared before March 1st toward the end of February. So March 15th, mark this on your calendar, is our quote unquote surgery day. This also begins our clear liquid diet, which is phase 1. And we are not going to be treating this as a revision project. We're going to be treating this as a first time project. So we will be on this phase for 2 weeks. It is going to be the hardest 2 weeks of this whole process, but with a little bit of electrolytes and motivation from the group, you're going to fly through it. I'm really actually excited that we're going to be doing this together, because when I had surgery, our doctors put us in a group with people who were also getting surgery on the same exact day. And it was so helpful day by day to just check in with each other, say what we're going through, what we're feeling, giving each other advice, encouragement. It was just really good. So we're going to also have that too. This is meant to mimic the healing process. This physically is required because you would have had surgery. But again, we're just mimicking the process here because the process works. And again, my hunch is that you don't really need the surgery if you just follow this. So our clear liquid diet is that. Well, I cut something out that I just answered my own question. I was like, well, I'm not technically getting surgery. I can still have coffee. No, for these 2 weeks, I'm gonna cut coffee out. But luckily I quit caffeine a couple months ago, and I don't think it's gonna be hard to just not have it. It's just a nice little daily habit I like to do. There are some doctors that allow black coffee. My surgeon did not. So we're just going to do the discipline. On March 25th, we will be entering phase 2, which will be full liquids. So this is soups, protein shakes. This is still not blended in soft food. So these are not foods like a pea soup that you blend up. We're not even there yet. So this phase will be for like yogurt or my protein shakes that I have that aren't clear. So that's what this phase is for. On April 4th, we're going to be starting our blended and soft foods. But this phase for me is where I started stalling a little bit in weight and where weight slowed down a little bit because we didn't go as extreme. We are not technically allowed to be active until week 6. And I'm going to highly recommend that none of us do that either. I'm going to wait until 6 weeks out of surgery for us to be moving because you won't have the sustenance in your body to be doing that kind of activity. So we're going to be chilling for 6 weeks on the workouts. April 4th, the blended and soft foods are there, but I want to encourage you to keep protein first. I think that's the thing I miss. Carbs are fine, I feel, but I do believe that I had like a lot of soups and stuff that I had a lot of soups and things that weren't keeping protein first. So that is our number one goal through this whole process is protein. And April 19th, this is when we can start having 5 small meals again. This is going to be the most disciplined if you haven't had the surgery, because again, the people that have had the surgery, it's easier to only do 5 small meals because our stomach can only handle it. Even when I did my pouch reset in December, I can't eat as much as I used to, but I'm definitely nowhere near when I got surgery. So this will be the most disciplined part, and we are going to be together in this from April 19th until June 15th. June 15th will be our 3-month mark from our surgery date, and that's when we're going to be concluding our experiment. Although if you continue the process of the things that are recommended to do after surgery, you will continue to see success, but the first 3 months is the most dramatic in weight loss. We'll get into another video of tips and tricks. Hydration is key. Protein is key. Those are the 2 things. Stella, are you scared? You lost all your hair first time doing this. No, because I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned from what I've done. I have a different outlook on what we're doing. My stomach can handle the things that I wasn't able to do that caused me my blood issues, that caused me my hair loss. Those were all rooted in not being able to actually physically drink, and they were rooted in not being able to consume enough protein in the day because I physically couldn't, which is also another regret I had is, man, if I didn't have the surgery, I'd at least be able to do this protein or this water intake. I just physically couldn't. So I'm already excited. Again, I've already done the pre-op again. I did it in December. So that's why I know, and I'm very confident because I was able to consume my protein, consume my water. So I'm chilling on that note. On another note though, that is a very preliminary basis. I am laying out the experiment for you guys. I would love for you to join if you're interested. If not, totally okay. I will do another follow-up video maybe a week before we actually get into this process, but the group chat will start right now. You can go, you can review the paperwork, take the paperwork to your doctor, tell them exactly which plan you are going to stick to, get detailed. You can even see a therapist and talk about this from a mental standpoint of why you're doing this and going into it. I just want you to be prepared as possible because these preparations are necessary. As a lot of people know, when I had surgery, they didn't care. The only thing they cared about were the physical checkups and stuff, making sure like our heart was fine. And that wasn't even really required. They were doing that when I went to my surgery. But in America, the mental and the physicals are all required before you go get this surgery. We're just going to be very kind to our body and care. I have not weighed myself since that video where I did my 40-pound weight gain video. I'm probably not going to weigh myself till March 1st. I won't really know, but I will be very clear and candid about what my starting weight of this journey will be, and I will track it with you guys. Hopefully, y'all, my dream number is 225. I'm trying to get on this roller coaster when we go to Orlando in September, or I guess technically October. So I'm thrilled. I'm excited. There's so much on the line now between having children and preparing my body for that, and roller coasters and having a good time in life. And this will happen right before summer. So like we'll be done with our experiment right when summer's starting, like literally a week before summer. So all the summer activities, all the outdoor activities, all the water park stuff, like that's going to be able to happen at the end of this really fun experiment, which I'm very, very excited about. And again, I keep having dreams and prayers about like roller coasters, and it's just like God saying, yes, be excited about something. Yes, this is happening. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for updates. I will update you toward March of 2025. And if you're seeing this really close to March 2025, again, I just want to emphasize, go get checked out. Make sure you're cleared to join us on March 1st, and welcome. Let's do this.